I'm the biggest Dolphin fan.
Ugh.
Okay,
Yeah.
why? Bob Greasy,
Ugh.
Kuchenberg,
Okay, great.
and and yes, we lost, but we've been exciting.
It's been exciting. You've been in the
This year-
playoffs three
this year-
times in the last 23 years. You realize that, right?
Yeah, but we beat the Jets.
What do you want a medal for that? I mean, well, great. You beat the
nice.
Jets. Yeah, I think the Dolphins have beaten the Jets 10 out of their last 13 games. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I get that, but that's what you're bragging about? Like, look, if all you have is to call in and say, well, 1973, great. Knick fans could do the same thing. Knick fans could call up all day and say, you don't understand. Walt Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed, Dave the Busher. Great. It was 100 years ago.
It's an odd Francesa impersonation.
That wasn't even a Francesa imitation.
You were morphing there.
No, I'm not imitating Mike. Mike doesn't do that. Mike breaks down Jack Kennedy. And by the way, 60 years ago today, the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Yeah.
Interesting. 11 years ago today, the butt fumble.
Don't do that.
Thoughts and prayers to both the Kennedy and Sanchez families.
Why would you bring that up?
Because it's the anniversary.
I understand. Why do we have to celebrate it?
I'm not celebrating.
You brought it up.
I'm just mentioning it. I didn't celebrate anything. I didn't
Tiki,
have pom-poms out.
You acknowledged it.
I just
Tiki.
acknowledged it.
Tiki, we
Right?
could.
It's like National Sibling Day or National Pet Your Dog Day.
Run into a
Or-
teammate's ass day.
Exactly. It's National Run Into Your Teammates.
Do you realize everything in the history of the world and the history of sports has an anniversary? Like every single thing that's ever happened
Yes.
has an anniversary?
Yes.
You are choosing.
Yes.
You are choosing on 11 years, which isn't even an even number, to bring up the butt fumble?
Yes. Yes. Blame Loogie.
You know something? I know before you came over from middays, Craig had a conversation with you. And that's what he told you.
No, it did
that
not.
was the one thing he said. He didn't give you no advice other than, hey, just do me this one favor. Please bring up the butt fumble every November 22nd. And you have to bring that up as we're talking about the late
It's
Jack
an
Kennedy?
unprecedented moment in sports. Hasn't happened since, never happened before. He
Great
ran
point.
into a guy's ass.
It's, the
It's
only
it's
time-
great.
It's
Name
the
that
only-
ass.
It's the only time in the history of sports it's ever
Brandon
happened.
Moore. We all know the ass.
It's a Mount Rushmore Jet moment in history.
it's
Yes, it
not.
is. Embrace it, Evan.
Mark Sanchez is famous because of that.
And he jokes about it, too. So just joke about
But
it.
do you hear how pathetic that is? Like, I want to walk you through this and why this annoys me. Mike Vaccaro, who is the best columnist in New York City,
he
and he's
is.
still going strong, did an article today that I would advise everybody to read. I even retweeted it earlier today. I think it's that important. Mike Vaccaro did what I like to call God's work.
Yes.
He decided to rank every single quarterback since Joe Willie Namath that's ever played for the New York Jets.
Wow.
51 quarterbacks that have played for the New York Jets and taken a snap.
Where's Tim Boyle on that list? Is he not make it because he has not taken a snap yet?
Well, he has
did
taken
take
snaps.
He has not started
I
the
think-
game yet, though.
I forget where he put Boyle, but I'll tell you this. Aaron Rodgers out of the 51 was 50th.
Ouch. Had a chance to move up next year.
So he puts this list together. I was really excited to read it. And there are a lot of things I disagree about it. There's some lists where I'd say, nah, I wouldn't put that guy there, wouldn't put that guy
That's
there.
a hard list to make, man.
Very hard list. But you know where he put Mark Sanchez?
Where? 5.
Fourth. So think about that. In the many, many years since Joe Namath led the New York Jets to a championship, he said Mark Sanchez is fourth, and Mike Vaccaro is right. Mark Sanchez was a good New York Jet.
Who were the 3 above him?
Chad Pennington,
Yep.
which you can't argue with, Vinny Testaverde, and Kenny O'Brien.
Got it.
Okay?
Imagine being one of those 47 other guys behind the guy that ran into an ass.
But that's the problem. See, you're expressing my issue with this. Mark Sanchez was good.
He was good.
Mark Sanchez was the quarterback of a team that
Okay.
got to 2
Okay, but
AFC championship games.
But would he be remembered if it wasn't for that?
To me,
Outside of New York.
I don't care
but I
what
do.
Caleb in Montana thinks about my quarterback. Okay? I don't. Now, maybe Zach Gelb and the CBS Sports Network does, and good for them. But in New York City, I could give a rat's patoot what Rico in Memphis, Tennessee thinks of Mark Sanchez.
Uncle Rico.
Does Mark Sanchez have the pizzazz to be an analyst on Fox if he doesn't run into an ass?
On Thanksgiving, Maybe he was hungry.
I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by all of you. And I'm
You
really
like hearing the truth?
I'm mostly disgusted by you, Tiggy.
Why?
Because we're bringing up John F. Kennedy, and you mentioned Mark Sanchez running it. What?
Breaking news, 28th anniversary today, Toy Story release.
Your boat is coming. The mystic portal awaits. Will you be quiet?
Is that right? Today,
Yeah.
Today was the day?
28 years ago, we got introduced to Woody for the first time.
Tiki, Sean, don't you guys realize everything in the history of the world has an anniversary?
I know, of course.
Everything. Like, we could come up, like, every day, there's 100 things where we could say, did you know that 13 years ago today, blah, 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 blah? Mm-hmm. Is today November 22nd?
It is.
That's an anniversary for me, too.
Why?
First time.
Oh, God.
Really?
Oh.
Wow, a lot of Woody's first time.
What class did she teach?
Let's go to Jeff in Howard Beach, New York. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, what's going on, Evan? What's going on, Tiki?
All's
Happy
good.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, dude.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, Evan, I don't know if you remember me, but I called when you had your old partner. I actually mentioned, remember Turtle and Jerry Ferrara and Entourage, that question I asked?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now you remember. You call me a fool because I'm a Dolphins fan. That being said, you asked why I'm a Dolphins fan?
Yeah.
January 23rd, 1981. You know what that day was?
January 23rd, 1981. It was
Come
probably
on.
a playoff game in 1981.
It was
I know the
Mud
Jets.
Bowl.
Oh, there you go. No, not 1981. It was after the
When was
82
it?
season. It was 1983. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, 80 times. That's what.
See, that's what. And you're asking me, and it was before I was born.
No.
The Mud Bowl was after the 82 season, so it was
You're right.
January of 83. You know what? I don't want to hear from you anymore. When the guy who wasn't born has to correct you, that's a problem. All right? I get the Mud Bowl. I understand A.J. Dewey's still running. I get it. Richard Todd, as Joe would say, never met an open linebacker he didn't love. Don Shula didn't put the tarp on the field. I know. And you know what's funny about that? I don't bring that up because it's before my time. Like, I don't hate the Dolphins because of the Mud Bowl. How can I? It's history. It's like as a Giant fan hating the Colts for the greatest game ever played. Like, it was 1,000,000 years ago. It was before your time. You may respect it. You may know all about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not why I dislike you. I dislike you because you're everywhere and you haven't won anything. Yet you act like you have. That's the difference between the Patriot fan and the Dolphin fan.
But they have the most famous and most perfect Super Bowl.
Someone's got to break that, by the way.
It's never going to happen.
Had a chance to be broken.
And by the way, I was not rooting for that.
Yeah.
That was the wrong team to do it.
By the way, I figured out the Troy Aikman thing. He moved to Henrietta, Oklahoma when he was 12.
So he's got that Oklahoma.
Yeah, he's got that Oklahoma stank in him. I love it.
I love 15 minutes of research in Troy Aikman's lineage there. By the way, Evan, just in case you need to know, Tommy, 11 years ago today, Mark Sanchez ran into a butt.
Right into that big booty.
You know what you could also say if you really want to clean that up? You can say, you know what, Evan? 11 years ago today, the New York Jets were humiliated on Thanksgiving by the New England Patriots. Because that's how I remember it. I don't remember Mark Sanchez running into the ass. What I remember is that the Patriots on Thursday night, because it was the Thursday night game of Thanksgiving, got humiliated. And that's the thing, Jet fans. The Patriots have humiliated us because they're better, and they've been better for a long time.
That's why most people hate the Patriots more than the Dolphins.
But the Patriots deserve the respect. The Dolphins aren't.
Why? Just because the Dolphins haven't humiliated you?
Well, they've humiliated us just in different ways.
By the way, that's so disingenuous to say that's not what you remember. For you remember Sanchez running to the butt. You know you do.
I don't.
Because you wouldn't be so sensitive about it if you didn't.
I'm sensitive about it because you guys continue to bring it up. Like, when you bring that game up, I remember where I was. I remember where I watched the game. I went over to my parents' house. They live upstate New York.
Finishing your 17th taco on Thanksgiving.
That's right. I was in their game room that they have, and I was watching the game, and I was disgusted. I remember standing the entire time watching the game, and I was disgusted. And, yeah, one of the moments in that game featured Mark Sanchez fumbling because he ran into an ass. Like, I remember that.
If he hadn't fumbled, would we still remember it?
Dude, they were getting their butt kicked. It didn't matter. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
If Brandon Moore had done more squats, does he run into the ass?
Don't pick on Brandon Moore's tuchus. It had nothing to do with
It's
it.
sloppy.
Look, it just happens. I'm surprised there hasn't been more ass fumbles in the history of football.
And how did he fumble? How did I think about it? I'm going to go back and watch
He
it.
didn't protect it like Tiki
Well,
does.
he got hit. Like
Yeah,
he
his
he
face-
ran into it.
His face got swallowed between two cheeks, and he threw a ball.
Do you
up
think
in
the
air.
ref's contemplating flagging the ass for unnecessary contact?
Why
there?
are we breaking this down again? Like, why do we
Personal
have-
foul. The ass. 15 yards. Hey, at least we got a penalty call, bro.
You can't hit a quarterback high. You hit him high.
I actually hate all of you. Like all three of you. I dislike you all at an equal level right now.